Just like domestic piping, we kind of need a fixture or equipment to get started. When we get into hydronic piping and process piping, this point is emphasized even more. As you will see, each piece of equipment will have an array of different connection points. Let's go through the procedure of adding pipe to these connection points. Let's jump into the mechanical room and start adding to the pumps that are sitting there. Once we're done, we'll create a nice isometric view. To get started, let's make sure we're in plumbing, floor plans, and large mechanical room. Let's make sure our scale is set to 1/4 inch equals a foot. Let's zoom in on the pumps, and the first thing I want to do is select this first pump. Notice that we have all these different connection points. For out 1 inch, I want to draw a pipe out from here, over, then up the wall and down. I'm going to click this icon to do it. First thing I'll notice is my offset is 6 1/4 inches. We would never know that unless we drew our pipe right off of the end of this. Let's make sure under slope piping that our slope is off. For the pipe types, let's hit the drop down. Let's go to chilled water. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to pick a point right about here. I'm going to come to the left, and I'm going to pick a point right near the wall. Now what I want to do is I want to run my pipe right up this wall. So I'm going to give it an offset of 9 feet. I'm going to run it up this wall. Notice that we get our rise symbol. I'm going to run it out to here and up. And I'm going to hit escape a couple times. I'm going to zoom back in on my tanks. The next objective is to draw a pipe from this connection point to this connection point. I'm going to select this tank. I'm going to go ahead and right click on this connection point right here, and I'm going to draw a pipe. Revit knows that that pipe is going to be 1 foot 9 3/16. However, if I just try to draw a pipe in any direction, Revit's going to throw an error saying that no auto route solution is found. Why is that? Well, because of the fact that this connection point is physically at that elevation. So what we need to do is hit escape a couple times, select the pump, right-click on that connection point, draw a pipe. This time our offset needs to be higher. Let's give it an offset of 3 feet. This will ensure that we clear any kind of fittings that we're going to need. Now all we need to do is come straight over to this pump and pick this fitting. Hit escape a couple times. Revit's going to give us our rise symbol and our drop symbol. Let's verify that this is correct though. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to click on my section button. I'm going to pick a point from here to here. I'm going to drag my section out a little bit further so I can see everything that's going on. I'm going to hit escape a couple times. I'm going to open my section up. I'm going to change my scale to 1/2 inch equals a foot. I'm going to change my detail level to fine. I'm going to change my visual style to realistic. I'm going to select my window. I'm going to drag it up so I can see where my pipe is going. Go ahead and click on the thin lines button so we can see it a little more clearly. Notice that we have a lot of space here. Go ahead and select your pipe, hover over it, and simply drag it down to where you want it. You can also just give it an even height of, say, 2 feet. Click off of it, select it again, now it's at 2 feet. Click Control-Tab. Let's turn our thin lines button off. This time what I'd like to do is select the pump again. Let's right-click on this icon and draw a pipe. I want to draw our pipe straight up in this direction. Let's get an offset of 6 feet. I'm going to pick this point. I'm going to give it an offset of 9 feet. Pick this point here. Now I'm going to offset it 10 feet. And I'm going to draw it out of the room. As you can see, I'm creating a lot of rises and drops. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the room. In the properties for our floor plan, let's scroll down and make sure that our view name is Enlarged Mechanical Room. Click on the default 3D button. On your 3D view cube, go ahead and right-click anywhere on it. Orient to View, floor plans, floor plan enlarged mechanical room. Zoom back in on your mechanical room. Hold down your Shift key and your wheel button. Let's scroll to a 3D view. Set the scale to 3/4 of an inch equals a foot. Now you have a nice isometric view of what's going on in that room. So remember this, drawing piping is very similar to drawing flat 2D lines. The only difference is Revit adds the connections, the symbology, the 3D view, and the systems for doing nothing more than we had to do in CAD.